Yo, what's going on everyone? Guiding Light here, and in this video I'm going to explain to you guys how you can get all of the different amorphous materials here in the game. Now there's been a bunch of people commenting on asking me how you can actually get these, and not only that, but how you can use them. So these amorphous materials will be used so that you can mostly get descendant blueprints. These will also be blueprints for the codes as well. Now each and every one of these blueprints, they're going to require a different amorphous material to get, and you may be wondering how you can get all these different materials. Now, the hardest part about these materials is that they all sort of look the exact same. The only way you can tell them apart is by the numbers that are associated next to them. So this can make things a little bit confusing. The best way to tell them apart is by coming to the research lab and just going into whichever item it is that you are looking for. Just click on that item and it will bring you to this page which tells you the exact place where you can get the material. Once you're on this page, you can just click on this little box and it will bring you to the fast travel point associated with the mission. So you don't have to go looking for it and get confused by it. If you just simply click on it, it will bring you straight to the mission. Now these missions can take a while and it can become a bit of a grind. However, you will be able to grind for a lot of other things while doing this. So it's not like you're just going after the amorphous materials. As you can see, you can farm for these specific weapons. You're going to get reactors, and there's even chances to get some of the catalyst for other descendants. So while you're going after these materials, you're actually going to be getting about 3 or 4 other sets done at the same time. It might not be what you're going after directly at the point of trying to get the material, but somewhere down the line in the future, you'll already have some of these materials stacked up because you went out of your way to do this. So you can run it on normal or hard, depending on what kind of drops you want to go for. If you're still looking for specific reactors, if you're still looking for specific weapons, you can run it on hard and try to get better stuff. But for this mission, it doesn't actually drop any loot. But for when you're doing other activities, other grinds, when you're grinding other missions, you can switch them to hard so that you can at least get better gear while you're going after materials. So very quickly, we're going to go into this mission. You'll still get gold and things like that, but these specific missions just don't drop anything in terms of reactors, things like that. Now, once you get in these missions, there's more things you want to grab while you're in here. This is going to make things a lot easier down the road. There's going to be resource boxes scattered all throughout these missions, and they're going to respawn every minute or so. While you're doing the activity, you really do want to grind and get these resource boxes. The reason why is because it's another one of the materials you'll need down the road. So if you spend time now, it'll only take you 10 seconds to go and grab these boxes every round, and you'll get all of the materials you'll need to build other descendants later. If you wait until later and just specifically go to grind out the descendant, it can take maybe 30, 40 minutes, an hour of just going around collecting these boxes to get those parts. So if you do it during the mission, you're going to save yourself a ton of time. Now, once you finish out the mission, you're going to be guaranteed that amorphous material. Now, for some of these survival missions, you may have to get to the second or third wave until the key drops. So just make sure not to go out and back out early. As you can see here in this battle, we got to the first checkpoint, but the key doesn't drop until the second one. So on certain missions, you may have to stick it out until the second checkpoint in order to actually get the part. So when you get to the checkpoint screen, check the bottom right corner and it will actually tell you exactly what you're going to get from the next round. So it will tell you, okay, the material is coming up next round and you're guaranteed to get that pattern. Now, once you have the pattern, you're going to want to go back to the resource lab and find the piece that now you want to go and get the code for. Same thing as the missions, you can just simply click on it and it will bring you directly to where you need to go. Now for this one, it will tell you that you need to do the Grave Walker. You might be wondering what that is. For every one of these, it will tell you to defeat a specific boss enemy, and all of those can be found in the boss section. You may have remembered going through and doing those at the beginning of the game, where you defeated things like Pyro and the Devourer, or even the Dead Bride. It will tell you which boss you have to go defeat. So what you'll want to do is you'll go start up that boss fight, but you want to make sure not to leave at the very end of the activity. So once the activity is over, there will be all the drops as normal, but there will also be this reconstructed device which pops up. You want to make sure to go and open up this device. What this is where you're going to use the amorphous materials. Now each boss is going to have specific materials that you can only use in specific bosses, and that was why it was saying that back in the resource lab. So for example, right now I'm trying to unlock Enzo. When you open up this device, it will tell you all of the different possible drops that you can get. Now you can use 1 or 2 of your keys. You can use either one. Some bosses have multiple keys that can be used on them. If you see here, you'll notice that there's all these different drops you can get. You also have the option to use these things called shape stabilizers. These come very far late in the end game as they only have a 2% drop chance. And as you can see, if you slot one in before activating it, it will boost the drop rate of certain items and lower the drop rate of others in case you just want to try and get those instead. So that's sort of like a really, really end game tip. It's going to take quite a while before you get a stack of those stabilizers up, but it is part of the game I figured I'd let you guys know about. So that's pretty much it for this one. It's a full explanation on how you're going to get every single one of the materials. Now, each material is going to have a different mission associated with it, but when you click on it in the resource lab, it will take you directly to it, so it's not as confusing as you might think. Then once you have that amorphous material, you just take it to a boss mission and open up the chest at the end. So hopefully this helps you all out, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.